Good afternoon, good afternoon. I am Sangrain1 and this is Mastering BuildCraft. In this episode I wanted to talk about when pipes drop items, like you see here. Now this is something that would happen even with red power 2 tubing. If you had a simple transposer pushing items into a tube, but with no connected inventory on the other end, the items would be dropped like this. But that is also the only similarity between red power 2 tubing and BuildCraft. We are actually going to talk a little bit about what changes that are being done in BuildCraft 3.2, and I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to expect that most of you knows about the mechanics as they are. As you can see, it's looked like one item there. This isn't a BuildCraft change, this is a Minecraft change. The server is merging items, so that should reduce any potential lag you might have on your server related to item drops. But that's not important. Let's look at the changes with BuildCraft piping here. This is a setup with rapidly, well, they don't move very fast, but they are tightly packed. It's one at a time, very close to one another, and this would, in earlier versions of BuildCraft, create some problems for diamond pipes, especially in relation to close inventories like this. Now, the rule in this pipe here is that all purple wool should go down in the black line. But because the red is open, it can be used as an alternative rule. So this is something that works in earlier versions of BuildCraft as well. The pipe will consider the chest for an invalid inventory because the chest is full, and it will therefore pick another route. So what is the changes then? What is the changes in 3.2? Let's see what happens if there is room here. Okay, so the item starts going down. But what happens when the chest is full? Oh, okay, so the items comes up again. And that is a very large change from 3.1 and 3.2 of BuildCraft, because in earlier versions of BuildCraft the item would drop. It wouldn't return back into the pipe and pick the alternative. So one pretty large change to BuildCraft piping. One thing that did not change is that the items will still not go back from where it came. So in this case there is only one alternative, and if that one alternative is disabled for some reason, then the items will still be dropped. I can demonstrate that. I can disable the exit there, and you will see that items is dropped because now there's no longer any alternatives. Free that alternative and the items will flow in there. So all those things are things that already worked in earlier versions of BuildCraft. The only change is that the pipe will sort of attempt alternatives as long as there is alternatives to pick. It is still random unless you have a diamond pipe like this, where I have set a specific rule, but all other normal pipes are random. Another big and probably bigger change than this one is stack splitting. I have the same rule here. Light blue wool should go down. And let's demonstrate how that works. So when you add one item at a time, they will be going down correctly, all of them. But if you send a stack, what happens now? Okay, so the chest was filled up and the rest of the item were moved to the end further, was sent on further here. So that is a big change. The pipe are now able to correctly split the stack. Let you see that again. It went down first, but when the chest was full, it returned and continued. And it continued because the direction it came from is also considered invalid. One thing I think is a little bit important to mention here is that these changes is not only for the diamond pipe. Even though I've used diamond pipe in this demonstration, the changes is applied to all pipes, all item transportation pipes. So just to summarize this video, the BuildCraft 3.2 is getting somewhat smarter pipes. Pipes are now able to split stacks, and they will attempt or try alternative routes if such routes are available. Items will still be dropped if you have large overflow, but at least now we have gotten rid of 2 of the problems with BuildCraft piping. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.